All right. A crap guide to Final Fantasy XIV, Magic DPS. Let's check it out.
Do you believe in magic, wearing a massive hat? It's a difficult skill and time-consuming at that. And it's magic, the explodious kind. The best role to make your party go fully blind.
Rhymes are sick. Also, that's the reason why I play a Magic DPS. Because Summoner, you summon the primals, you got big explosions. What else could you want?
I'll tell you about the magic if you insist I must, but if I stand in AoEs, then healers got to adjust.
Healers, why didn't you adjust?
Oh my god, dude. As a healer main, I 100% agree with that. It's...
To a crap guide to Final Fantasy.
Let's go. JoCat, let's go. JoCat, let's go.
The last group of the derps per Cirque's job is the magical range DPS, or just magic for short. Look at the hat, nothing up my sleeves. You are the most important person in the party, because when the going gets tough,
that's
a big
right.
hat is required, and the amount of damage you do is proportional.
That's not always true. I mean, the summoner doesn't really wear a big hat, right? I mean, I guess the horn's kind of a hat, right? It's kind of a hat, but it's not like the black mage hats or the red mage hats. Like, God, if we could create a tier list from hat size, is there a correlation between the size of the hat and damage? Right? The black mage, they have the biggest hats, obviously. They do the most damage. Red mages, they get pretty big hats too. I mean, look at that little, like the little tuft thing coming out the back, that feather. It's pretty big. Summoner? It's not quite big of a hat, but you know, still a big hat. Blue mage? I'm here too.
To the size of your brim, where the melee is sniffing up the boss's farts and the ranged are shouting yo mama jokes while making love to the arena's boundaries.
True.
You are the healthy middle, standing your ground till you go down to Pound Town when you found the sound that makes the bad guys frown. You don't do as much damage on average as the melees, instead to trade it off for the utility of being able to attack at a range from anywhere in the arena, with one major difference from your physical range cousin, the cast bar. That little lightish red loading beam that you see just about every other main story quest when you have to search a suspicious bush or scout out for the next place Thancred will find yet another new color of depression. Most of your skills require you to stand perfectly still in order to have your big numbers to go off.
Yeah,
and if you
those ley lines, dude. Those ley lines. You know what they say? Stand in fire, DPS higher.
Special edition Han Solo your neck to get a better angle at your hot naked tank. Your skill stops and everybody sees how you are no longer looking respectfully. Luckily, every single casting job usually has a lewd calendar's worth of tools to circumvent you having to staple your feet to the floor. Which does mean in order to up your mobility without losing out on DPS, you'll need to learn the right sequence of buttons to press like you're playing a 7-dimensional accordion. That said, there's one universal trick to upping your mobility no matter the job, and that's the maneuver known as the slide casting.
Slide casting is sick.
So you normally have to wait for the entirety of the cast bar to complete.
You know, I actually had a theory about slide casting. Like, the engineers of Final Fantasy are like really good. I kind of wondered if slide casting was like a solution to like latency problems, because if you play in like North America, I think South America too, all the data centers are in Canada. So I think the engineers were like, okay, our servers are all going to be one place, but maybe we can add a mechanic, slide casting, that allows to make up for that latency or something. I always kind of thought that was maybe the solution to that. So we may never know, but it's interesting thought.
Little known fact, once it reaches about 4/5 of the way through, you need no longer restrain your movements as though your feet were sweating Gorilla Glue, and you can afford a small amount of movement without losing possible uptime. Cool tip, this applies not only to the magic DPS, but any skill for any job that has a cast bar. So you can even be a sliding, slicing samurai. The magic limit break.
I think that kind of makes my theory even stronger too, where it's like, even the warriors, even like anyone that can do damage, like I think that's like the latency thing.
Similar to the range DPS is an AoE that deals...
In fact, when I first started playing, I thought it was because of lag. I thought it was a lag issue, but then people were like, no, that's a game mechanic. And I was like, okay, cool, I like that.
Less base damage than the melees, but can hit multiple targets. In this case, a massive circle instead. And now you can make fun of the boss for not moving out of the obviously telegraphed danger puddle for a change.
Idiot.
Boy, do I love throwing stones out of my glass house. The family of magic is made up of 3 siblings. Okay, that's a lie, it's actually 4, but the smallest one kind of went a weird career path, and they're not often invited to the New Year.
Blue Mage is actually the best job in Final Fantasy XIV. Look, I made videos about Scholar. I made videos about Red Mage being the best. I made videos about White Mage being the best. But let's be real here.
Parties. The Black Mage is a fantastic job if you're a fan of Cookie Clicker, because you're pressing the same button over and over again ad nauseum to see big number go during rotation. You start out headbanging explosions at the bad guy like a... until you're completely out of mana. Then you go into a goth phase, where you chug a bunch of cold energy drinks, getting you back to peak performance, where you can go back to...
True.
Although you have tools to...
Is the ice phase less damage than the fire phase? Or is it just like the the same, but just use it to build up your mana.
Keep yourself mobile like the other mages, you will often be the least dancy and find yourself pitching a tent like you just discovered the sniper tower on Rust. It also wins the award for having the slowest leveling experience.
Is that true?
Ever. Next is a
I kind of don't
summoner
mind. I feel like I'm okay with that. You just kind of cast a couple buttons, you kind of stand there, that's all good.
There's so many reworks that odds are by the time this video is published, it'll have already been changed into a tank job with 4 dots and another job stone.
True.
You summon the dragon that nearly destroyed the world 5.
So it used to be a dot class, right? So I kind of think about it like World of Warcraft. Before its current rework, it was like an Affliction Warlock where we had all those dots. Now it's more like, it plays like the Retail Demonology Warlock. Oops. It plays more like the Retail Demonology Warlock, where it's like your rotation's based off of like, it's like augmenting your spells based off of like the demons you summon, which is pretty sick. I love Summoner. It's my favorite DPS right now, I think.
5 years ago, which some may consider in poor taste if they happen to have a loved one's name written in the 7th Umbral Calamity Memorial Museum. And after you're done making them relive their trauma, get to double, triple, and quadruple down on using avatars of terror by summoning life-size copies of 3 monstrosities that killed a lot of innocent people. Chili Boy gives you slow casts and a gap closer.
If you don't play Summoner, why haven't I played Summoner yet? Summoner is such a sick job visually, and the rotation's a lot of fun too.
Thigh Bird Woman drops a mildly uncomfortable breeze, and she, as well as Chicken Nugget, turns you into a physical range DPS, where you no longer have to worry about the cast bar anymore. Suck it, Black Mage. After you're finished offending the local countryside, you bring out a big Firebird that'll restore the party's health. Hey, if you're gonna make range DPS obsolete, might as well do the same for healers too, right? Lastly, the Red Mage, the most fashionable job. You steal gimmicks from everybody else like you're a YouTuber wanting to make more than minimum wage. You've got a heal like a White Mage, but a little bit less thick. You've got explosions like a Black Mage, but a little bit less... And you even get a backflip to your death like a Dragoon, but a little bit more sexy.
Oh yeah.
In combat, you flip between using black and white magic.
The amount of times I've flipped off of Titan during the Titan fight, doing that backflip is insane. I think I've probably broken a record for killing myself with backflips.
Attacks in order to build up a mana gauge to spend slashing your sword with a whole lot of sexual tension. Maybe lifting the enemy's chin with the tip of it, saying some threatening innuendo while you're at it. What makes you special, aside from the sick drip and stylish moves, is that after each spell you hardcast with a cast bar, any spell that follows is instant, meaning you only have to sit still about half of the time. Suck it, Black Mage.
You know, if you're resin people, instead of doing swift cast, you can actually do, what do you call it? Yeah, you do a little self-heal or an ability that's quick to cast. So I'll just do like a Vercure and then just do the Ver-Raise, you know?
This also means you're even more efficient at raising down allies than the healer, since you have essentially infinite swift casts, and the only thing holding you back is the fact that rezzing the whole party will suck you dry like you're an anime boy with no eyes. Red Mage's Limit Break is also special in that it... Think fast, Jungle Nuts! And now you know how to...
True.
Yeah, I didn't forget. I was just hoping that you had. Playing Blue Mage is only a portion of the Blue Mage experience. The rest of it is starting sentences involving the job with the words, what about? Yes, though it may be classified in the magical range DPS category, Blue is unique in the fact that 1, to Blue Mage is to suffer. And 2, it is considered a limited job, so it has to sit in the corner all by itself while the rest of the kids on the playground actually get to hang out. You are unable to play Blue Mage with the other jobs in most level synced and current content, especially high-end stuff like Savage Raids and ERP. Why is this? Because if it weren't, whoever's in charge of designing and balancing the elaborate and complex boss fights at Square Enix would probably be under suicide.
Yeah, the Blue Mage, you can't balance a job like that. It's the best. It has so many abilities. It can unlock so many abilities. It would be fun, though, to do it if they had a separate game mode that doesn't count towards, like, I don't know. But if you could queue up as a Blue Mage and do dungeons, I think that'd still be fun. I don't know how they would balance it, though, but maybe they could just limit the spells. I think just the amount of dev work that it would take to like actually get it to be balanced, I think would be kind of like too much work. But it would be fun. I would really love that. I would absolutely love to queue up as a Blue Mage.
Watch. The Blue Mage's unique power is that it can learn a ton of skills, spells, and abilities from the various enemies and bosses in the game, including, but not limited to... There's Ultra Vibration and Rose of Destruction and Sticky Tongue Snore Mustard Bomb, Abyssal Transfixation, Quasar Malediction of Water and Fire and Gun, Peculiar Light Feather, Rain and Shock Strike, Song of Torment and Basic Instinct, Flying Frenzy and Loom, Acorn Bomb, Sonic Boom, Flying Sardine, J-Kid, Final Sting, Triple Trident and White Wind in Level 5, Petra 5000 Needles kinda sucks. There's Jet and Fates and Trench Fusion and Blaze, Shoko Meteor and Self-Destruct.
Self-destruct is actually the best spell in the game, right? Because if you don't want to do the tower, the Kagone Tower. What's it called? The tower in whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about. There's an achievement where if you jump off the tower and land on that little rooftop on top of that light, you get an achievement. But actually, if you play Blue Mage and you self-destruct and have someone res you who's already on top of it, you also get the achievement. Fun fact.
And now you know how to play Magic. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.